Ooh,
We are live.
February 24th, 2021. GJ Radio. We're back.
We're back. Here we are. I look pretty washed out, but it doesn't matter because it's an audio show.
Yeah.
Visual has very little
Yeah, I don't think
impact,
people
but I
are.
still want to look nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Josh, welcome back. I've had to
Thanks.
find people to fill in for you and talk to non-use for the last was it 2 episodes that you missed or just the one?
Yeah.
Did we only do one?
Missed one with Reed. I don't know. Did you do a
Which was
second
a
one?
fantastic show. No, I
I
think
bet
that
it
was the
was.
last one.
But that was
Yeah,
awesome.
I wish
Hope y'all
if
playing
I
today.
next time I'll have clips available from the. See, we're learning as we go. I'm
Yep.
learning that I should
We're
have
getting
had clips
better.
from the previous show ready to go for this, but between the chaos of the snowpocalypse and Mike, I'm having to broadcast here. As you can see, I am broadcasting from my other studio that is not my living room because my computer, my MacBook Air. So what happened was I updated it. I installed the software update, and it was low on battery. So
Did it take all the way?
I went to plug it in, and when I plugged it in, something's messed up with the battery. And it even says on the update, one of the fixes is that it fixes the problem with charging the max battery, but it didn't have enough juice to recharge it. So it was updating, turned off. So now I have this Mac that I turn it on and it just gives me a blinking question mark. I go into restore mode or whatever, and then I try to log in and it says, "Oh, we don't recognize." So I've got that computer doesn't work right now. So I'm having to use this guy from freshman year of college. Still
Technology,
works,
am I
gets
right?
the job done. Yeah, it gets the
Yeah,
job
we're
done.
here.
I'm not too laggy where it's just I don't want to possibly over extend the amount of memory and all that and RAM and what have you on this guy to where it runs at 4 miles an hour. But here we are. Josh, you're back from your trip to Arizona. How was it?
Yeah, it was 75 and sunny. It was a nice departure from -5 and snowy. So it's real cold in the desert, though. I guess we didn't really plan well. You think I'd watched enough of Planet Earth to know that it's going to get cold in the desert, but not for me. It was getting really chilly. Wasn't wearing a jacket. So beautiful golf courses, though.
I was going to say, you were out there for a golf trip, right?
Yep. A little bachelor party golf trip. Ended up running into some pretty well-known athletes who were getting pretty blitzed, as was
Yeah.
I. So
Yeah. Who did you run into out there? You said you
yeah,
saw a
so
couple
we
of footballers.
Yep. So we got a table the first time we got out there. Not really my thing, but we did. We got a table, and lo and behold, I look
Who are
up
you?
and
Who are you there? What were you there for? You're a bachelor
Joe
party.
Joe Rizzoli's bathroom,
Okay, so it was Joe's
bachelor party.
bachelor
Yeah.
party.
Yep.
Okay,
So we
just needed
having a
the
good
stage
time.
set.
We were kind of looking around, and we noticed the table next to us is Baker Mayfield's table. And they've got bottle service. They've got a sign saying "F the Chiefs." And I look around at that table, and Mark Andrews is there. Orlando Brown Jr. is there. A bunch of OU guys. And then a few minutes later, I look up, and Baker is right in front of me. And go to dab him up, and he shakes me around like a rag doll. Drinks go flying everywhere, but the look in Baker's eyes, I think we were on the same level of just being blitzed. And I think he danced in front of us for about an unnecessarily long time, like maybe like a full minute of just dancing in front of us while we were sitting down. So I don't know if I had to pay for that service or not, but that was cool. So it was a good time. Ran into a few more athletes. Melvin Gordon later on that
Who is
weekend
he
ran
playing
into.
with? Who is he playing with now?
I believe he's a Bronco. He was supposed
So
to
this
sign
is
a big mega deal, and then he didn't. held out,
So,
and
so this was like some sort of like
something about
non-Pro Bowl,
Scottsdale.
Pro Bowl situation.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
was there like a
guess
pro-am or something?
I don't know. I guess guys maybe just come here and work out. Come to Scottsdale and work out. Mark Andrews is from Scottsdale, so that might explain why Baker. And the rumor was that Baker has a house in Scottsdale as well. Great weather. I mean, 75 and sunny while we were there during the day. It was beautiful. So um, cool place to live, I guess. Great golf courses and can train outside all year round, just about. So um, yeah, just a fantastic time. Going to take the body probably another year to uh, reinvigorate itself to want to do that again. But for a 3-day trip, can't beat it.
Yeah. And Joe had a good time.
Yep. Everybody had a good time. I fell during the trip that first night. Really led off with a bang. I think I was trying to tell somebody that I was going to. I could beat Baker in a race, and as soon as I stood up to tell somebody that, I fell on my face and decided probably can't beat him in a race if I can't use my legs. So I just sat back down. I think nothing happened, and body
That
hurts.
brings up a serious that brings up a serious question. That the stupid dog wants to move into a different room. Do you think you could beat Baker Mayfield in a foot race?
Um, in my prime, I think I could beat Baker in a foot race. Right now, if we were equally drunk, I think I could probably beat Baker in a foot race. But not as drunk as I was because obviously my legs didn't work. So drunk Josh thinks he can beat everybody in a race. I think I can beat Orlando Brown Jr. in a race.
What about it? What about as drunk as he was? Do you think you could have beat
No,
him in
because he was more
in
drunk than
his
I
game?
was, and he was able to dance. So I don't.
He's a pretty good dancer, from what I understand as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So,
He
but
wouldn't
I
be
think
getting.
equal playing field. Maybe I think I could maybe be. I don't know if I could beat him in a 40, but I think if you stretched it out to maybe like 70 or 80 yards, I think I
Well, you
smoke
were a
him.
distance runner, so
I
like
was
if
like
you were
mid distance, but I got a little foot speed on top of that.
in a
So I think
400, I bet you had him.
oh yeah, I'd be by 100 meters if we're running 400s. But yeah, just all around good time. So
Well, I'm glad you stayed out of trouble.
yep.
Reed did a good job. You know, we didn't even take the time to share the link or anything that we were live. I didn't. You know, we usually just hop on in and
Yep.
there we go. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the call-in number at the bottom to.
Yep.
Oh, we got all these different tickers and stuff right there. You know, stuff. There we go. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I
There it
guess
is.
we just jump right into the biggest news of the past day or so, and we
The
can.
most important news, the most
Yep.
devastating news that there
Carson Wentz to the
is.
Colts. Oh,
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 yeah.
you're talking about Tiger.
Oh, I mean,
We'll
we
get
can
to
talk about Carson Wentz.
we'll get to the Colts, but for now, our well wishes go out to Tiger. I feel like the past couple episodes, there's been some downers. Vincent Jackson losing his life, and then this one, Tiger Woods is probably will never golf again.
Yeah. So, what's the skinny on that? What's
Apparently, he wasn't intoxicated that they know of yet. I don't know if they've run a alcohol blood test on him. But apparently, he just was going a little fast on a 45-mile-an-hour road and uh, went over the side, rolled, broke both legs, shattered his ankle. So lucky to be alive. Lucky that he will probably be able to walk. But it's going to be a long road to recovery, and I don't know if we'll see him pick up a golf club in a major again. He was already
LA
kind of.
Sheriff calls Tiger Woods crash purely an accident? So, this was
Yeah.
deputies here. I'll pull it up right now. I'm looking at it right now from The Associated Press. So obviously, it's
Pretty good
one of the most
source.
noteworthy. Yeah, it's probably the best source. It's not only the press; it's the associated version of it. So they wouldn't allow this kind of stuff to be published without vetting it.
Yeah.
So, LA Sheriff calls Tiger Woods crash purely an accident. I had it scrolled to where I wanted. The Los Angeles County Sheriff on Wednesday characterized the crash that seriously injured Tiger Woods as, "My gosh, no, I'm not going to sign up with you, Associated Press." And this is that kind of reason why. Appeared to rule out any potential criminal charges, even as authorities were still investigating. Deputies did not see any evidence that the golf star was impaired by drugs or alcohol after Tuesday's rollover wreck on a downhill stretch of road known for crashes. He was not
Mm.
drunk. We can throw that one out, Villanueva said during a live stream social media event. I guess that's the
Sheriff.
sheriff. Yeah, Alex
Yep.
Villanueva. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess Tiger was not on anything. He, um,
Purely just an accident. Just
I guess this goes. So this explains why ESPN has been posting a whole bunch of "don't make fun of Asian people" stuff of late. I thought it was because of the dunk that Anthony Edwards did over that one
Mm.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't
I
remember.
thought that was the reason for it,
Wanna
but
be or
it
one
turns
of.
out. Yeah, no, it was the dunk of the year for sure, but it turns out the reason for
Yeah.
ESPN saying "don't make fun of Asians" is because there's going to be a whole bunch of, "Oh, well, Tiger just can't drive because duh."
Yeah. That all makes sense. Yeah. Just
So what is it
unfortunate.
like? I mean, tons of surgeries, right? How many surgeries is he going to have to have? Alex
Yeah.
Smith
I
had
mean,
17 surgeries, and he was willing to get back into football. So,
yeah.
and
Bunch
he's
of rods
mediocre.
put in his legs, pins and screws in his feet. But Tiger's also 46, already with back issues. Already was probably not going to play the Masters because of back issues. Um, so
Yeah,
I
how many back
think
fusion surgeries has he? Like, he's already had a back
he's
fusion
had,
surgery. He's
yeah,
already had.
ACL repair, everything. I don't see how he's going to be able to get back up and play. Um, I mean,
Well, it's all about
it's
how
going to be like
bad
a
do you want
2 year
it.
rehab. Yeah, but he's 48 by the time he's even probably able to swing a club again. So, but he's a
Well, how old was
mentality
Jack
type
when he?
guy.
How old was
I
Jack when he retired?
I would be guessing if I knew. Let's see, Jack Nicklaus. Quick Google search can find that. Retired.
I was going to say that we have the power of Google. We can
2000,
just go ahead and
2005. Wait, he joined the senior PGA Tour in 1990.
yeah, probably
So
as like an
he
80
is
as like an 80-year-old man.
he's
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 a machine.
81 now, so he would have been 50, 49, 50 when he retired.
Okay.
Not as many
He
surgeries.
had what, 17? Yeah. Look.
Yeah, I think.
Look, Tiger can't give up.
No,
I
Tiger's
say
good for
give up.
golf.
I say give up. His legs smashed to pieces. It's
Yeah,
a
he
matter
can't
of
walk,
Tiger.
but
Yeah, he can't even walk down the
yeah.
court, but
And we're
of
asking him to
course.
play the Masters in April. So
Well, it's my
come on.
whole nightmare of Aaron Rodgers playing until he's 90 years old on a hover
Yeah, which will
round and
probably
just
happen. Dicing
dominate.
up the Bears defense.
Yeah, they pull him out of the nursing home every year for 2 games just to dominate the Bears, and then he goes back and just has no idea what happened.
Yep.
It's the nightmare scenario for me, but it's, I saw that it happened. It was just immediately my brain went to, uh-oh. Here we go
Yep.
again.
Yep.
Tiger, single car crash. Uh-oh. What did he do?
What was he on? I think
We
that
just saw
was.
the documentary. Have you seen the HBO documentary? I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched it. Didn't love it. A lot of
I think we've
third,
talked about
fourth
it.
person. Yeah, I think we've touched on that.
A lot of, I dated Tiger 20 years ago, so let me talk
Yeah, I
about
was
how he
his elementary
spurned me.
school friend. Yeah, but he doesn't talk to me anymore. I have no idea why. Yeah, a lot of people that had vendettas against him. The only one that had, a real take was his spurned caddy, but even he was spurned, so he had something to say. But yeah, I mean, that's talking Tiger. I mean, well wishes towards him. Hope he can get better. But
Okay, so I mean, we've been waiting. I've been waiting to really get your take on Carson Wentz, but before because you brought that up to start,
yep,
that's not the big. Obviously, that's not the biggest news right now. It's been a whole week almost.
yep,
But so here's what happened. You left.
yep. I was on a plane when
You
it
were on the
happened.
plane. Everyone gets the little alert, the little ESPN
Yep.
ding. Carson
Everybody's
Wentz
talking
to the
down the
Colts.
aisles. Yep.
Gosh. All of a sudden we're texting back and forth. Just
Yep.
just chatting away, figuring
Yep.
out, hey, this is kind of big. You're a huge Colts fan. You're the biggest Colts fan I
Guilty.
know. In a world that doesn't have a whole lot of Colts fans, you are indeed a Colts fan, if not the Colts fan.
Yep. Indeed.
So I was dying for your opinion on the matter. You got on the plane, took off, landed,
Immediately got obliterated.
immediately. Yeah, go ahead and take it from there because I did not hear from you until
Yeah.
Monday,
Yeah.
until you got back.
Yeah. I wish I could give more details, but the whole weekend was a little bit of a blur. But yeah, so we got on the plane, we're taking off. There's 6 of us, so we're all sitting in rows together. One guy gets the ding, everybody starts getting the ding. Carson went to the Colts, 2 draft picks, second rounder, and possibly or third rounder, and possibly a first rounder if Wentz plays enough snaps. And I'm trying to take it all in for what it's worth at face value. Pumped that we have a quarterback, have an unknown quantity in Carson Wentz. Really, we start talking about it on the plane.
A
Really want
Super
to,
Bowl winner.
Super Bowl winner, former, MVP candidate, and he's 28. Like he's still could be in his prime. And I'm ready to maybe make a short video or make a statement about it. Unfortunately, as soon as we depart the plane, liquor starts flowing. And
As does happen at a bachelor party.
Yes. Incapable of making a comment on it. And then the very next day, as we're Ubering up to the golf course, leave the phone in the Uber. So I don't even have a phone until later that night when we go back to the Uber's house. We Uber to the Uber's house to get my phone and Uber back. So was without a phone. I'm sure it's a lot of sports news. We were watching betting a lot of basketball, a lot of college basketball. But yeah, and then after that, it's just, it's been 2 days. I had a phone for one of the days. And I figured it was best just to, at that point, wait till we can get back on here to really give my comments about it. So, and I've had time to digest now, so it's a little bit more coherent of a comment. So, so for what it's worth, I like the trade. You have to have a quarterback. I don't know what the other options were. I was kind of rooting for maybe a Jameis Winston signing, but it sounds like he is going to be back with the Saints. And we didn't give up a whole lot. I think we still probably need to draft a quarterback, maybe in the 3rd round, if maybe like a Kyle Trask falls that far, just as an insurance policy. But we still have a lot of cap space. Can put some solid weapons around him. We have a good offensive line. Maybe sign Trent Williams or draft a left tackle, and see what happens in a Frank Reich offense. He's been in a Doug Peterson offense ever since his MVP candidacy, where they're trying to throw the ball downfield to, guys who went to D3 schools. without a very good offensive line. So we'll see what Frank Reich can do. I trust Reich. I trust Ballard that they can maybe rebuild him. I think it all starts in his head. I think he may be kind of a wussy in his head, but if they can get his head right, could be a great trade. So there's that.
Well, yeah, no, I've been dying for your statement this whole time. Now we finally have something that we can clip and post on the socials, just because. Yeah, I mean, the guy's got a Super Bowl.
Guy was really good for a while.
What the heck
Also
happened
really
last
bad.
year to him? He had 16 touchdowns to 15 picks before they yanked him and put in
Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
Jalen
and
Hurts.
I kind of equate it to kind of the Andrew Luck scenario. Obviously, Wentz is probably not as talented as Andrew Luck was, but that line that was good started to deteriorate. Didn't have a lot of playmakers, and he's holding on to the ball very long to get guys downfield, and that's where mistakes are made. I mean, look at Brady; he gets the ball out in 2.2 seconds, and Frank Reich had Wentz doing that their Super Bowl year, where he's getting the ball out quick, and I think that's the key to really any quarterback success is getting that ball out quick. And I think
getting it to your playmakers. Yeah, you get it out quick, get it to your playmakers, and let them
take a
do
few
stuff
shots.
with it.
But I mean, when the Colts had Andrew Luck, Bruce Arians is everything's downfield, so he's just trying to get a deep ball every time. And one, we didn't have the playmakers for it. Two, we didn't have the offensive line for it. So Andrew Luck was just taking
don't tell that to T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, well, I mean, T.Y. was good, but outside of that, Luck was just taking a beating. I think Wentz is taking a beating. I think it screws up your mental headspace when you're constantly on the ground. I think Wentz was near as tough as Andrew Luck was, but hopefully come to Indianapolis, sit behind a good offensive line, and kind of rebuild himself. So,
but, yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted and all I've got for Colts talk. Is there any other big NFL news?
I don't think so. I mean, Big Ben sounds like he is gonna be back with the Steelers. I think both sides want that. I don't think Big Ben's got anything left in the tank, but it sounds like both sides want that. Other than that, I think it's going to be pretty slow. The franchise tag window, I believe, opened today until March 9th. So we'll be on the lookout to see if Dak Prescott gets franchised. Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin. There's some names that could get franchise tags. So.
Oh God. Okay, fine. Bye. I was trying to get some football inside scoop talk from Chris, but he's a little busy apparently. So, yeah, just to have some football expertise. There's just nothing going on really in the NFL right now. It's free agency time. It's just all speculation and talk, and then trading.
Well, it's not even free agency yet. I mean, you can't even sign anybody in free agency. So it's really kind of a dead time in the league. No combine this year, so we can't. Usually, end of February is when the combine is, and we're not even getting that this year. So.
Which is fine. We can, it's hard to. There's no real segue from Colts talk because it was like I wanted to know about your trip. That happened. I totally forgot that we didn't even get a chance for you to talk about it. You were you had a good time. That's really all that matters. You had fun.
Yeah.
The show be damned. Who cares about content when it's bachelor party?
And we got some cool content with some Baker videos being.
Oh yeah,
So
do you have any more Baker videos? The one you sent me.
Yeah, I think I've got a couple videos, but they're kind of grainy and.
Look, as long as we have proof that someone from the show was there, it makes us look legit. Makes us look like guys on the inside.
Yeah. I'll get that, and we can maybe cut that up and put it on the social. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media, Did
Go
you
ahead.
see? It was all over social media. See, that's a segue.
Mm,
Luka
getting good at this.
hit the game winner
Mm,
last night. I don't know. Did you see it? Have you seen
I
it?
did. I did see it.
Well,
Two threes in the last 40 seconds to get him the win.
yeah. So, do you think you want to walk back those Luka is just another James Harden Rockets
I have
rendition?
seen James Harden cross a guy over and knock down a big three. So I am actually Team Dame. What he's doing with that Trailblazers squad. Um, you know, I think maybe he got snubbed from that starting lineup. But I get it. Luca sells a lot more seats. A lot of people tune in to watch Luca instead of a West Coast, Portland,
Portland.
Oregon,
What kind of? There's no
Dame
market in
Lillard.
Oregon.
Yeah, which is a
No.
shame because Dame is electric.
No. Before we get into snubs, have you heard about there being like talks of trade for KP?
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I didn't really look into it much, but I think we've talked about on the show. I think Val's brought it up about getting KP out of town. Um, what's
Yeah, he
his
said
market look like?
Porzingis needs to go. Well, I mean, that's one thing. It would be his third team in 2 years, and he can't play a full season. He can't play half a season.
Yep.
With his knee, he's the unicorn. The best ability is availability, and if you can only play half the season, that's not really a whole lot of use, especially to your superstar, your young superstar who's having to do everything, and you
Mm-hmm.
traded a whole bunch to get a running mate for him, who you thought would
Took
be,
on a huge Tim Hardaway contract.
yeah. Uh, at the time, I was super excited. I still am. If the
Yeah.
guy plays, he's really, really good.
The problem is there feels like there's multiple guys that can do what he does now. Like when he came in, there wasn't a ton of guys that were
He's
doing
7'3",
everything
though.
he right, but I mean,
He's
there's 7'3"
unguardable.
guys that can light it up. Yeah, he is. But can he get on the court? Can he, sometimes can he bang down low? Sometimes he disappears. Like Val says, best ability is availability. So
Yeah, well,
yeah,
I mean, if they got Andre Drummond, if they figured out a way to get Drummond and paired him up with Porzingis because he's
DeMarcus
on the
Cousins
market.
got released.
See, DeMarcus Cousins would be a great pick, but I think he's going to end up going back to the Lakers.
Yeah, they said that's not likely though. I saw, you
Really?
see all these, you get all these articles, and you don't know what's true and what's not. But I did read an article where
They all need something to write about.
sources say that's not likely. So I don't know what kind of cap
Well,
space. The
sources should
Lakers
say that he
can't
goes
just.
to the Mavericks because I think he would be a good addition to the Mavericks. He's huge. He can stretch the floor because he can shoot.
Yep.
And
I still
yeah,
like DeMarcus Cousins. He's had some unfortunate injuries, but man, he was so talented as a king, and if
he's
he
also
can,
just huge.
yeah, he's super strong, bully
He's
you
a big
around.
physical. He's a big physical presence that the Mavericks don't have right now.
Yeah, but does that defense get worse with DeMarcus Cousins? Can't really move
Look,
that well anymore.
well,
I
that's
mean,
why my original say was Andre figuring out a way to
yeah,
get Andre Drummond here, which would probably
solve a lot
take
of
trading
issues.
away a lot. I
I
say
don't
a
know what his
lot.
value is. I mean,
The Mavericks don't really have a whole lot to trade.
yeah, and I'm not sure what a big man's value is anymore. A big man that doesn't stretch the floor, gets a ton of rebounds, but he's got a massive contract. I don't know how much it takes to get him. I don't think James Harden-esque trade, or anything like that. So
Yeah, he's not on that tier.
I think the
And he's
value of
not
a
on
big
like the
man is just
all-star
not
tier. He's
right.
right below all-star, but in that elite starter category.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
He cracks everybody's starting lineup, but he's not going to
Yeah,
be someone that you build a team around,
right.
or
And he's
even
never
like
been
put
on
in
a
your
winning
big
team.
three. That's the other thing. He's always been, one of the three options on a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes to a contender. If and this is all hypothetical, obviously, but he comes to a contender and suddenly he's the fourth or fifth option and asked to exclusively play defense and rebound and
Hmm.
do the things that he's good at.
Right. Really maximize his skills.
And that's what Carlisle's sort of regarded for is
Hmm.
taking a player what he is and just maximizing him in that capacity. That's you know
Except for Nerlens.
oh man, who knows what would have. I mean, Nerlens and Rondo are two cases where it was just like, what in the world happened? What were the
Can't
Mavs
fix.
thinking, and
Yeah,
what
can't fix
happened?
everyone.
No, those are just lost causes. Sticking
Yep.
to the NBA, you brought up all-star snubs and starter snubs. The whole idea of guys being snubbed. I saw Devin Booker. He was a guy that
Yep.
got snubbed.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, but you go into the NBA West All Stars, and who does he replace? You
Yeah.
can't
No.
just bring up like that's the thing with these NBA guys. I saw a thing on ESPN today where it was a bunch of NBA players talking about so and so got snubbed. Oh, I can't believe that. Oh, this is so disrespectful that you know this guy got left off the roster and this guy got left off, and it's like, well, don't say that unless you're going to name who they should be in over. You know,
Yeah. They won't
oh,
talk about it. I
right,
could
like,
see
oh
him.
yeah, Devin Booker should be in over Luka. Devin Booker should be in over Chris Paul or over
Donovan Mitchell. I could see him
Donovan
being in over
Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I could see
I
that, but you could also make a case where Donovan Mitchell should be in.
Yeah, played for the best team in the NBA. Yep.
Chris Paul did Chris Paul make the All-Star team?
He did make the All-Star
So Chris
team.
Paul made the All-Star team. You can really only have one All-Star per team. I mean,
I don't know. The
typically
Lakers have two. Clippers
one of
have
them can't
two.
even
Jazz
play.
have two. Yeah. So that means Booker's just going to take Anthony Davis's spot. So
Right.
That's probably the thinking.
And it's all
On
contract stuff. It's all contract stuff to where it's like, there are
yeah.
incentives and things like that. But my beef is always the whole, okay, yeah, so and so should be in. Devin Booker should be in. So Rudy Gobert should be, or not Rudy Gobert, but some,
Yeah, but
Jokic.
also I think it's a big thing. When a guy ends his career, and not saying Devin Booker's a Hall of Famer, but could he be by the time he ends his career a borderline Hall of Famer? Maybe the Suns make a run, and then you're like, well, he was only a two-time All-Star. That's the first step that's put out there. Two-time All-Star, five-time All NBA guy. You know what I mean? And so
That's a real thing.
There's some weight at the end of your career that's put on there. In the long run, I think in the short term, who really cares? It's how good were you in the first half of the season, not a full season. That's why there's the All NBA teams. But I think there's some more weight put on it, especially in the NBA compared to like Pro Bowls and stuff like that. The NBA puts a little bit more weight on All Stars because it's an exclusive club. I mean, there's only 12 guys on each team. So
Is it 12 or 15?
12. I'm looking. There's 7
12,
reserves,
that's
so
it,
5
huh?
starters. So it's a tough team to crack. And like you said, I mean, there's a lot of good NBA players. We're living in a time where there's a lot of good NBA
Trae
players.
Young didn't make it.
Yeah, Domantas Sabonis. I mean, there's only 3 guys that
didn't make it.
Putting up the numbers that he's putting up, and it's like Giannis and Embiid. So
what he's 20, 10, and 5, like plus 20, plus 10, and plus 5.
26, like 10 and 7 on 50% shoot.
I think it's like 12 and 7. Honestly, I think he's rebounding closer to 12 a game. But yeah, no, putting up absolutely ridiculous numbers. The Pacers are 4th in the Eastern Conference, and he doesn't make the All-Star team.
Yeah, that one was a tough one to swallow, and I mean,
but who does he go in over?
Levine, Julius Randle. I mean, even
Julius Randle was the one that I would have said, but he's in New York. He's the best player on the Knicks.
And he's been tearing it up, but Sabonis has been. I mean, he started the season with like 20 straight double doubles. I mean, only other person was doing that was Jokic.
I really wish Julius Randle would have come home to Dallas.
Yep. Played against him in high school. I think he was an 8th grader. was way better than me as an eighth
Yeah,
grader
he
when
was.
I was a junior or something.
Yeah, he was
Preston
13 and we
Wood.
were 17, and he was just. Yeah, he's averaging 23, 11, and 6. So
Randle.
he can make the All-Star team. Yeah, dude, he's shooting 41% from deep.
Yeah, but then you look at, you know, Sabonis is averaging 21.5 on 52% shooting, 12 and 6.
Oh, I'm not trying to compare him to Sabonis.
Right.
I'm
No.
just saying, holy smokes, Julius
Yeah.
Randle is going off this year.
He's been having a career year. But it's also like I think Jason Tatum is incredible, and he's a reserve. You know what I mean? There's so many good NBA players. Um, we were living in a great time to be NBA fans because there's so many guys that can just do everything at a very high level. So I don't think Julius Randle
Well, that brings up a
gets
good point.
go
You bring
ahead.
up a really, really good point, though, with you saying that looking back historically, you have guys that. Am I playing in the background somewhere?
I don't think so.
I could just hear
You,
myself echo. It's weird. I'm turning my gain down. But you have how many guys looking back do we not regard as being as good simply because they weren't named to all-star teams? Because it is such a selective list. So and we're saying that, oh, we're living in such a good time, which totally agree. We're living in the best time for basketball because we've talked about guys not, oh, guys don't play defense. No, scoring is at an all-time high because guys just know how to get buckets. Guys are more skilled than they've ever been. Athletes
yep.
have been
At
training
a
their
younger age.
entire lives. Yeah, with incredibly skilled trainers and things of that nature. You have guys that dedicate their entire lives to working with youth basketball players and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But how many guys looking back, like, in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s were really, really good, but we don't regard as, next level, on that superstar elite category. We don't put them there because they didn't make the all-star teams. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I mean, MJ made the All Star team 14 times. You know,
And
and
won
that's
titles.
right, and that's weighted very heavily on these guys' careers. Um, like John Starks was really good, but I bet he only made a couple of All Star teams, and I think that really just goes against you. Is if you're
Well,
not.
like, I'm just trying to think of, like, guys who, may have only made one or two all-star games, but were really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. Guys that won championships. I mean, you got Tony Kukoc, won a
Yeah.
bunch of titles, but he only made, I think, one all-star team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
You know,
definitely. I mean, it's an exclusive club. I mean, and I think that's maybe what has Devin Booker made an All Star team yet? I don't know if did he? I don't know if he made it last year. I mean, his time's going to come. He's still super young, but
like, okay, a good compare. Like, the Suns are good this year, but they haven't been in the past. A good comparison previously, though, I would have said would have been Kevin Martin,
yeah,
just as far as just an absolute scoring machine who didn't
can light
make
it up.
all-star teams. Well, yeah, he could light it up and scored a bunch of points, but he didn't make all-star teams because the team wasn't any good. Now, Phoenix finally has a decent team, and I think now he's just a victim of being in a smaller market.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a smaller market, and they're up and coming. But I think it's hard if you're not the Lakers or the Clippers, and you're a West Coast team. I just don't. You don't get the views. You come on. You might get that 9:30 spot on TNT, but you know not a lot of people are watching at 9:30 at night. Central time on the East Coast is 10:30. Uh, so I mean
Yeah,
that
I guess.
hurts.
Yeah, and I guess for legacy, man, if you're looking to build the biggest superstar basketball legacy, you can't go to a small market
No.
because it's just going to hurt you as far as marketability. And
Yep.
getting votes for things like this, things that involve fan votes and things that involve participation. They just don't have the numbers.
Yep.
Luka gets the second most votes, last year and gets snubbed, or 2 years ago, whenever they had the All-Star game, his rookie year, gets the
Mm-hmm.
second most votes, gets snubbed. A, because Dallas is a huge market. B, he's an international player. But, Dallas is a big market, so you don't run into that issue. But, these teams like Phoenix, Milwaukee, Giannis can crack it, but Milwaukee's not a big market,
Yeah, Chris
relatively
Middleton's having a great
speaking.
year, and he's
Yeah.
not an all-star.
No, now I will say that when I think about it, the NBA probably gives players in small markets the most opportunity compared to other sports because it's, the fewest amount of guys playing.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have anything covering your face.
Right.
Your NBA is pretty marketable
No,
from a
extremely.
player
But
perspective.
if you're wanting to be, the next Mike, the next LeBron or what, I mean, LeBron
Yeah, you're
bounced
not
from
doing
team
it
to
in
team or whatever,
Indiana.
but you're not going to do it with the Pacers. You're not going to do it in Charlotte, as
Yeah,
much
I
as
mean, look at
LaMelo enjoys playing
Paul
for Michael
George.
Jordan.
I mean,
Right.
Paul George is like, hey, I love playing for the Pacers, but like, I could, my brand could explode. He's a good-looking dude. My brand can explode. Get me back to LA. And I understood that, and I was fine with that until he made it like very public, and then that ruins his trade value. Now we got lucky that we got an all-star in Oladipo for a while. Then we have Sabonis. Should have been all-star. So I mean, that was when that trade happened. I was not very happy, but it worked out. And even like Oladipo, he doesn't want to be in Indiana. He wants to go to a big market team. So that's why if you're a small market team, you can't get attached to guys because as soon as their contract's up, they're probably not going to re-sign, even if it's for the max. Unless, I mean, I think Sabonis. I mean, we already inked him to a new deal. I think it's different for maybe Europeans, but
Well,
your big name guys, Americans coming in, they don't want to
props
play in a small market.
props to Dame Dalla for staying up in Portland though throughout his entire career for all this and staying in the small market. He could have gone. Now, granted, he's from California. He's not. I think he's from Los Angeles. Or no, he's from Oakland. So
Yeah. And he went
that's
to a
not
small
that far away
school, I
from
think.
family. What, Weber State?
Yeah. And Weber State's in Utah, I think.
But yeah, no, small school. He's from Northern California, so it makes sense why he enjoys playing up in Portland because it's not very far from home. But it's still a small market. He could go to a much bigger market, any market really he wants to.
Yeah,
and
I think anybody would be.
Especially with his hip hop career,
for
especially with his hip hop aspirations. I'm surprised he hasn't gone to Los Angeles or New York or something like that. But
he's kind of a different guy, though. I think he enjoys.
Do these guys who all got snubbed, that you see on social media and stuff like that, are they thinking right now, oh snap, I guess I got to get out of here. I got to go to a team. I got to go to a market that's going to get me on the all-star team or that's going to get me on the starting roster, get me in front of enough eyeballs. Is that something that's probably going through the mind of Sabonis or Booker?
Yeah, or Bam, Mike Conley.
Or Bam? Mike Conley's a little, like, maybe for these younger guys. Yeah, Mike Conley, he's in his mid-30s. He's pretty much done. Yeah, he's pretty much done as far as
he's having a great year, but yeah,
he is who he is.
In terms of moving on to another team,
right? He knows exactly the kind of player he is. He knows what he's looking for in a team and stuff like that. Like these younger guys, the guys under 25 who are still trying to figure out, what kind of player they want to be, what kind of legacy they want to have in the league. Are they, looking right now, like, Devin Booker averaging almost like 30 points a game or something like that, just something crazy.
Yeah, 24. De'Aaron Fox is averaging 23 and 7.
But yeah, like these guys are putting up. I mean, Trae Young averaging, almost 30 and 10.
Yeah.
And
lighting it up.
Getting snubbed. I say getting snubbed. Whose place are they gonna take? Also, Trae Young doesn't play any defense, so that's part of basketball. He's elite on one half of the floor. But
Yeah,
no, I
that's the
mean, are
thing.
these
When you
guys?
talk about snubs, it's like, okay, the guys, if you took Donovan Mitchell off the All Star team, then all of a sudden he just replaces Booker as being being snubbed. So there's going to be snubs. With only 12 spots, there's going to be snubs all the time. That's never going to change. So,
Right.
go
If
to a big
anything, I
market.
mean, do they need to go to a format where every single team gets an all-star and you just get one per team and the team votes for it? That would be kind of interesting.
Yeah, kind of baseball esque. I don't know. I like the way they do it, and I think they consistently. All I really want to see is a starting five. I mean, those starting fives on both sides are just always completely stacked. The reserves, I could kind of care less about. If you're snub, you're snub.
And to be honest, I don't even think we're gonna watch any of it.
Yeah. I usually don't tune in unless I've got nothing going on. It's usually about the fourth quarter, last like 6 minutes when they start kind of turning it up, play some defense, and get some stops. But it's all just a dunk contest and firing up threes. Which kind of what the NBA is, but it's kind of that on steroids for the All-Star game. So
yeah, they're putting up like 170 points, something crazy like that.
At some point that just gets kind of boring.
I mean, they can always participate in, like Booker can always participate in the 3-point contest.
Yep. Zion teased at being in the dunk contest.
And he made the All-Star team, right?
And he did make the All-Star team.
He did make the All-Star team.
Having one of the most efficient years ever. So, rightfully so, Zion.
We deserve to see Zion do a dunk contest, like participate in the dunk contest. I hope that his knees do not explode during it. All I can imagine is just like this giant, just bowling ball on these legs made of pencils, essentially, and just throwing it down and then coming down off of the rim, letting go and just. That's all. Yeah. That's what I see every time but he's just a machine. The guy, what can you say?
Devin Booker, injury replacement for Anthony Davis. This just in.
Well. Congratulations, Devin Booker. You have made the All-Star team. We stand corrected. It looks like Devin Booker. It looks like Devin Booker is going to stay in Phoenix and probably be a lifelong Sun. What was once thought of as he may go anywhere after not getting the All-Star treatment he thought he deserved, it has now suddenly shifted. Momentum has changed thanks to Anthony Davis's hurt Achilles, thanks to the poor coaching decision of playing him prior to the All-Star break on a sore Achilles. Good job, Frank Vogel. You have now made Devin Booker an All-Star, solving a whole bunch of problems for a fellow divisional rival. Good job. Congrats, Devin Booker, first All-Star. All right.
Sun for life.
Well, I guess, it's a live show, but there's really no need to use any of the previous segment talking about Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Possibly leaving. He's staying for life. I guess the next. All right, Devin Booker, cross him off the list. Sabonis. I guess Sabonis is leaving the Pacers now after not being an All-Star.
Sabonis, unfortunately, ain't for the next 4 years. So
he'll demand a trade.
Yeah, he has to if he wants to be an All-Star.
Some about those Euro guys, though, it's like I just don't think they care. They just sort of go along with the flow. They're just happy.
Small market.
They're just happy to be out of old country.
Yeah,
they're just happy to be out of the old country.
Yep. And his dad played in a small market with
not having to farm potatoes.
Yeah, not having to go to the military.
Well, it's like Luka's life, If Luka wasn't here playing basketball, he'd either be farming potatoes over in Slovenia or wherever the heck on the Eastern Bloc he's at.
Yeah,
or
Maury,
breaking rocks.
That bowl Markkinen.
Yeah,
he had to enlist in the Finnish army, I think.
Yeah. So whenever Finland goes to war, I mean, let's pray to God we don't ever go to war with Finland, because that's one guy I would hate to have come after me. I mean, he's huge.
Yeah. Easy target, though. Probably.
This is true. Very true. But I imagine his training is, top notch.
Elite. Yeah.
Oh, we got a phone call right now.
We got a call
We got
in.
a phone call. We got a call in. Hello?
Hey, sorry, I was dealing with some people in my house. What's going on?
Oh, hey, Chris. I'm on the air with Josh right now.
I'm live.
Yeah, we're live right now. What's up?
You called me.
I did call you. I
We wanted your football takes.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about football. We were trying to talk about we were talking about what were we talking
Wentz
about,
to
Josh?
the Colts.
Oh yeah, Carson Wentz to the Colts.
Any other news? Any other football news?
And that was pretty much it. I mean, it was just pretty much Carson Wentz to the Colts, and then Josh went and partied with Baker Mayfield out in Arizona over the weekend. But we just wanted to know if you knew anything football wise that was worthwhile, because you're sort of our football guy.
Did Baker get hammered?
Oh, Baker was obliterated.
Yeah, Baker. According to Josh, Baker was absolutely obliterated.
That's awesome.
Mark Andrews, Orlando Brown,
and Mark Andrews, and a couple other guys. Hollywood Brown.
No, the Orlando Jones, offensive tackle.
Oh, Orlando Jones. Sorry, Orlando Jones, not Hollywood Brown. We're not implicating anyone that wasn't there.
You're talking about the right tackle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Orlando Brown, isn't it? Orlando Brown Jr.
Yeah, he's a.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say. I guess I like Carson Wentz going to the Colts more than Josh probably does. So hopefully he feels good about that.
On edge.
Josh says he's on edge right now. He said, but he was pretty excited about having a quarterback. Much better offensive line than the Eagles have.
Yeah, better alternative to what could have been.
Everyone's saying he's going to be a little more comfortable, I think. And then I think he has a better run game too, not only because of the line, but Taylor. And then Mack will be back healthy, and you got Hines. You got three.
Well, Mack's a free agent, but
I think it's a good situation for him.
Yeah, Josh said that Mack's a free agent, but aside from that, they've got.
I think they're going to bring him back.
Well, Chris is already making the bold statement of predicting that he will be.
All right.
They will be bringing him back. Are you going to the Stars game tonight, by the way?
Stars already started. They're on right now. That's why this phone call won't be too long.
Are you calling us from American Airlines?
Are you? He's not calling. I wish he was calling us from American Airlines Center.
He's in Florida, he said.
They're playing in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, if you were out in Florida. Yeah, the Stars are in Florida. Well, Chris, yeah. Well, that's good news. I just wanted to know if there's any other football news. I think we have another call in.
Uh oh.
I'll call tomorrow.
Okay. Okay, Chris. Great job.
All right, deal.
Jeez. Hello?
Hey, good.
Hello?
This is D-Mix.
Oh, what's up, dude?
Bro, I just sent you a song that I made with your keyboard, bro. I want you to listen to it and let me know what you think. I just texted it to you.
Oh, snap. I will jam that song. I'm actually doing a podcast right now with my buddy, but I'm going to play that.
Okay, bet. Do you think about it?
All right, I'll call you back later.
All right.
Man, did not expect that.
We're getting a breaking song. Is that what I heard?
Yeah,
Brand
I guess
new.
we exclusive audio.
We owe it to the audience.
Can you hear it?
Yep.
See if it switches up here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a spooky house or something.
Yeah, I'm a little. Okay, I'm looking at the. As you can see, the little beach right there thing. It's going into the. I think the bass is about to drop right here. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Thank you, D. Wow, that was
D-Mix coming in. He didn't know the whole world was about to hear that.
D-Mix coming in. D-Mix with an exclusive here on the air live. We played that for the world.
Yeah.
I guess I got to figure out something to do with it. It goes back to Jacob's very first question that he asked on the air on the very first show when he asked, when is I getting back into music? He brought you into it as though you had any part of it.
Yep.
Which you did, but
yeah, in the very beginnings, quickly found out wasn't my thing. So,
but yeah, I guess that answers that question. We have people making music for us, making beats.
making beats.
If you'll make the beat, we'll put some fire to it. I'll spit some bars and we'll show it one of these upcoming show. Probably not next show. Give it a couple shows. I've got to do some work
on
and
it.
stuff. Before we get back into sports talk, Josh, did you have good news from your bid situation, or you were gonna
still on hold? Had to delay the decision due to misquotes from my material guy. Unfortunately, been a wild couple of days. I had a guy call me at 5 o'clock on Monday and ask, "Can I get a bid together for him at 3 p.m. Tuesday?" Not a lot of time to make calls to businesses when it's already after hours. So we put something together for him, and we had to wait to get material, and that was proven to be extremely difficult. But the hospital delayed their decision because they really want us to do the work. So as long as we can get the prices tomorrow morning, we should know. So they haven't made a decision yet. So no news is good news. But WD Communications, if you need any low voltage data run for your commercial business, please contact us at wdcommunications.org or at JoshWest13 even. I will respond via Twitter. So
yeah, we've got the WD Communication background.
Beautiful logo made by G from GJ Radio. Do you need graphics or websites made? He's your man. Does a great job.
Go ahead and leave a comment or do something. Dude, just find some way to put something in the chat. And I'll make graphics for you. No, there's big news in baseball.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about this because it's quite stupid, in my humble opinion. You may disagree with me. I don't know if you saw the entire 45-minute Zoom call.
I did not waste my time on the 45-minute Zoom call.
Well, guess
I got the synopsis.
Guess who did? Because I see 45. I see ESPN blast ahead. I'm going to find the headline real quick because ESPN's blasting the headline of Devin Mather, Seattle CEO.
Can you hear me too?
No, Seattle Mariners CEO president Kevin Mather resigned after what ESPN called 45 disastrous minutes of disrespect.
Very
45. What is it? Let's see. Hold on, it's loading right now. The entire headline is the kind of thing that I used to write when I would do.
Yeah, very
clickbait,
eye-popping headline. Yep, very.
Make amends here. We'll go ahead and pull it up. We'll make this computer run about 4 miles an hour again, just so we can get the article up there. But the headline is "Make Amends." Seattle Mariners CEO Kevin Mather can't take back those 45 disastrous minutes of disrespectful words by Jeff Passan.
I was going to ask who wrote it. I'm surprised Jeff Passan wrote it. But
dude, it's like it reads like some 20-year-old college student wrote it, like some chick who's taking a gender study course or something, like or some sort of class on race relations. But basically says, like, during the 45-minute call, Mather referred to his starting pitcher, as very boring. He called Kyle Seeger overpaid. He said that his star prospect didn't speak English very well. He said he was tired of speaking to his pitching coach through a translator. All of these things sound awful when you just read it like that. When you just,
when
you
you
know what I'm
don't have
saying?
any context.
When you have absolutely zero. So just take comments completely out of context and, just put words that he said, but you don't put them in order. You leave out certain things to completely paint a picture that you want. And the guy resigns. I think he probably did something else that has nothing to do with this call that he made. I think this might have been just, there's other stuff
Straw
possibly
that
that
broke the
could
camel's
come out.
back.
Right, exactly. But the whole idea of first of all, we can break down what Passan said. He said that, because I watched the call. I watched the entire 45 minutes and was completely disappointed because when I see 45 minutes of a disastrous
I was
call,
hoping
I'm
for a lot
thinking,
more.
oh man, I bet he said chink, or I bet he dropped an N-word. I bet that he said some really, really despicable stuff. Like, come on, he resigned. This is the CEO of a baseball team. He's, a baseball
only
guy.
30 of them.
There's only 30 of these guys. Surely he did something extremely egregious to step down on his own accord, right? So I am brutally disappointed to find out after 45 minutes that the worst thing that he said was that back in the 90s, they used to give their young prospects who came in from Latin America, they used to give them $30 a day to pay for food and stuff. And he said that because they couldn't speak English and because they couldn't make change, people took advantage of them and it wasn't very good. They got in trouble. And it was like, I'm watching this like, okay, when does it get racist? When does it get bad? Okay. And then he goes on to talk about his pitching coach, who's from Japan, right? And has an interpreter. And he makes a joke
for the Mariners.
Who pitched for the Mariners
for a while.
It's not like this guy doesn't know who he is, okay? And he just makes a throwaway joke about how he's tired of paying his interpreter.
Yep.
Like just stuff like that. That's literally what was said. He said that at one point he talked about how their young prospect, they tried to offer him a 9-year deal with player and team options or something like that. It was like a total of 9-year deal to go 3 years past his arbitration period. So, to basically have 3 years of extra team control. And the kid said no. So he said that they were going to basically do what the Cubs did to Chris Bryant, which was pull him up mid-April, give him an extra year.
Which happens all the time.
Which is just what they do. But Jeff Passan literally said that, I just got to read the last 3 paragraphs of this because it's so, once I've painted the picture as far as he's just talking about the team, right? He said Kyle Seeger, a career 250 hitter. He said that, maybe making $18 million a year, he's being overpaid a bit.
Maybe he is.
He hit 240 or 241 last year and he's making $18 million. Maybe he's being overpaid. At the very least, it's worth bringing up. Here's what he said. Okay, here's God, man. It's just, it reads so bad. Okay, here we go. Mather's statement that he is committed to make amends and will do whatever it takes to repair the damage I have caused to the Seattle Mariners organization sounded rather familiar. Perhaps it's because in 2018, after a Seattle Times report exposed 2 complaints from female employees against Mather, he said, "I am committed to ensuring that every Mariners employee feels comfortable and respected." Okay, so he got Me Too'd 3 years ago. Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
I wonder whether Julio Rodriguez feels comfortable and respected. He is 20 years old and one of the best prospects in baseball, a slugging right fielder from the Dominican Republic. When asked about him, Mather said, "He is loud. His English is not tremendous." Mind you, in this same exact statement, he called him a superstar. Okay, he called him a superstar. All right, he said he's a bona fide superstar. He's going to develop into a great prospect. He is loud. His English is not tremendous. 2 years ago, the Mariners thought enough of Rodriguez's English to post a video of him speaking it on their YouTube channel. His English sounds pretty good, and I don't imagine it has worsened since. Here's Passan giving a freaking critique of a guy's English speaking. If
as bad as it got for Julio Rodriguez was he is loud, and his
Yes.
English is not tremendous.
That was the worst thing that he said about him.
Yeah, I bet he feels pretty comfortable and respected. I don't.
Here we go. I wonder if Jared Kelenic feels comfortable and respected. He is 21 years old and the Mariners' other prized outfield prospect. The organization thinks so much of Kelenic. Mather told the Rotarians, was the Rotary Club, it offered him a 6-year contract with 3 club options. Because Kelenic turned it down, he said he will be starting 2021 in the minor leagues, though the Mariners plan on bringing him up in mid-April, at which time they'll have ensured he remains under team control for an extra year. Everybody knows a foundational element of comfort and respect is service time manipulation. What the
happens on every team. Theo
and
did
there's
the same
this
thing with Chris Bryant.
Right? He goes, I wonder whether Marco Gonzalez feels comfortable and respected. He is the Mariners' ace, a 29-year-old whom Mather considers very boring because ... he doesn't throw very hard. No, dumbass. He's calling him boring because as a pitcher, you just go up there, you go about your business, and you go off the mound. You don't make it about yourself. You don't do anything showy. You're not, Trevor Bauer cracking beers or anything like that on the mound, which is freaking cool. You're not tossing, you're not bat flipping or anything. You're a guy. You're a baseball guy. You go up, you do your job, you get off the mound.
Calling him an ace is a little short-sighted. A career 4.09 ERA. He was good last year in a shortened season, 7.2, but a 3.1 ERA is not out of this world.
Look, so, and that's what I'm saying. Like, here's Jeff Passan.
4.09 ERA. That's kind of boring. It's kind of running.
Is he throwing what's his Ks per 9? Is he throwing 9 Ks per 9? Strikeout per inning, or is he closer to like 7?
Let's but find out. I would venture to say it's closer to 7 than it is 9. Let's see.
Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe he's a fireballer. I mean, it's another. It's the West
per 9. 7.3 for his career.
Thank you.
Spot on.
Here's and then he talks about Kyle Seeger. I wonder whether Kyle Seeger feels comfortable and respected. Since he debuted in 2011, Seeger has compiled 32.2 wins above replacement. That's more than that of Evan Longoria, Anthony Rizzo, Nelson Cruz, Justin Upton, Justin Turner, Michael Brantley, and a host of other players who played in the previous 10 seasons. According to Fangraphs, he has produced $147.7 million in value. But Mather wants to say he's overpaid. I mean, okay. The Mariners suck.
What's the guy done for him lately? I mean, he's good, but probably is overpaid. Probably not grossly overpaid, and I don't think Mather said he's grossly overpaid. I think he probably just said it's overpaid.
But are there any other teams that want to pay him $18 million?
Probably not.
Is there a single other baseball team that probably wants to pay him $18 million? I
would
doubt it.
Hate if the Cubs paid him $18 million. So
I would be just beside myself if they, because they're paying Jason Hayward $20 million.
Right.
So
and I would say Jason Hayward, when we paid him $20 million, I would take him over Kyle Seeger when the Mariners paid him $18 million a year. So now, once the season began, maybe not, but leading up to that Hayward signing and leading up to that Seeger signing, I think everybody takes Hayward.
But okay, so and this is how Passan ends it. He says, I wonder most of all whether Hisashi Iwakuma feels comfortable and respected. In January, the Mariners brought back Iwakuma, who pitched very well for the team over 6 seasons, coming over from Japan as a special assignment coach. After explaining the hiring, Mather's first words to the Rotarians were, so this is after explaining the hiring. So these aren't his first words. This is just poorly.
We brought this guy back.
Explained,
he's pitching coach.
So he's after already talking about him, he said this first. So that makes no sense. Wonderful human being. Sounds like a pretty good thing. His English was terrible. This is a statement of fact. I would imagine if I go over there, my Japanese would be terrible, and someone would probably make a comment about it.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe even a joke, because as men, we joke. Because as grown men, we make jokes, Josh. It's just what we do. Sometimes things are funny. Sometimes it's funny that someone messes up a word. I think it's hilarious. Sometimes people think people from Texas with accents, you go out to East Texas, people sound funny. I make a comment about it. I'm not, over here insulting them. It is what it is. He says his English was terrible. I'm tired of paying his interpreter. He smiled and laughed as he said it. Like, what is this? What is this kind of writing? He goes on, Iwakuma is 39. He made nearly $50 million with the Mariners. While Mather was CEO, mind you. Like, Mather paid him, or was part of the reason why he got paid. He doesn't need this job. He doesn't need this organization. He doesn't need someone who is going to look at his desire to be understood as a weakness. What the? Who wrote this? And he damn sure doesn't need to be judged by someone who was promoted even after he was the subject of sexual harassment complaints for allegedly rubbing one female employee's back without permission and making inappropriate jokes about women in the office to another employee. I didn't take a breath right there because he did not include a comma at all for that entire thing. That was all one sentence. All one sentence. Jeff Passan is like taking – Okay, I'm starting to think Passan like applied for an internship for the Mariners at some point, and Mather was like the guy who rejected him.
No.
Or maybe Mather has a daughter or something that way back when Passan asked her out or something like that to write something like that. Because like literally,
it definitely seems pretty attacking, and I think maybe what's gotten to Passan. I like Jeff Passan as a reporter typically, and he had that story about Drew Robinson. I think maybe after that Drew Robinson story, I think he felt himself as woke. You know what I mean? And
okay.
So now I think he's
personality bigger than all of you combined. He is loud. His English is not tremendous.
Not much there.
Him and Kelenic are very good friends. He's a year behind Kelenic. He will probably be here in everybody says 2021. He won't be here till 2022 or 2023. A fantastic kid, really big on social media. He loves to get out in front. He loves the Mariners, and between him and Kelenic, we think we've got an outfield that will be as good as any in baseball.
As good as any in baseball. He's calling his own player a future superstar.
He's got a big personality, louder than anybody here. English is not tremendous. Doesn't seem too egregious to me.
That's the kind of that's what prompted this whole article. And I guess maybe it's because maybe it's because we're here in Texas, right? Maybe it's because we're here.
We don't take offense to things.
That's what I mean, dude. Like literally, they're like at that point, you're just looking for a reason to be offended if you watch that interview, because baseball guys know that that's just how baseball guys like. He's saying that it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think Julio Rodriguez or whatever, or any of these guys like are super butthurt about it. Maybe Kelenic is about his service time being manipulated, but that's like, you probably knew that going into it.
Yeah, run of the mill. Sorry, that's how baseball works.
Guess what? Chris Bryant won an MVP in a World Series. So, okay, cool. Fine.
Yeah, I think Passan got on his white horse here and decided he was going to be, after this Drew Robinson story, he's going to be the most woke reporter, and it cost him his job. I think I'm with you. I don't think
what the hell is this?
I mean, yeah, shame on Jeff Passan. I don't see anything too egregious here. Not anything to be egregious to lose your job, or for any of the players talked about to be, upset about. I don't think there's anything really there.
Yeah, the whole thing is, I'm thinking they probably have something else.
Yeah, there's got to be more. I mean, that Me Too stuff. That's enough to lose your job on. So, maybe this was just, straw broke the camel's back, and okay, we need you to go now. But and the Mariners haven't been very good. So,
maybe they just weren't happy with the timetable that he presented on the air. Maybe that's the real reason. They're like, what?
Yeah,
no, Rodriguez is ready to go.
This year.
He's ready to go now.
Yeah.
Get this guy out of here.
We need him on the field.
He's also a partial owner. He's a minority owner of the team too. So it's not like he's going anywhere. It's all just like semantics, and he's just no longer going to be any kind of face of the franchise.
Yeah.
I just read that whole article though. I was like, okay, it's one thing to like say, like, hey, he made some jokes that were a little tasteless about his, but I personally, like, they weren't even really jokes. He was just saying the situation. Him talking about
It was
minor
very
league players and
dry.
stuff.
It wasn't like
yeah,
it wasn't like he was like not very good at English. Yeah.
No, he's just saying like he's a 50-something, 60-something-year-old guy who's talking to a 20-year-old kid from Latin America, from the Dominican.
Yeah.
And I could see where he would be like, oh yeah, his English isn't tremendous. At the time, he literally deals with every single player in the organization, so it's reasonable to understand that he hasn't had a whole lot of one-on-one time with his top prospects since they brought them over and negotiated them. So it's not like he's hanging out with these kids on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, he's not going to Tacoma to go hang out with the minor league squad. So
thank you. Which actually is a very interesting topic, and I think we should talk about that next show. But the whole minor league readjustment, I mean, they pretty much have done away with. No, they did not pretty much. They've completely done away with short season A-ball. They've gotten rid of a whole bunch of minor league teams affiliations. I don't know what they're going to do. Whether they're going to go back to playing independent ball or what.
Stack
I think that would be
double
cool.
A team or.
Well,
it would be cool to play in an independent league and me being Joe Schmo going against Kyle Kellenick.
Which, really brings us to the main reason we started this show in the first place, was to give us practice for the regular season of baseball for the North Texas Amateur Baseball League, the Old Fashions. Obviously, my father is the voice of the Old Fashions, but for the play-by-play and the games and everything like that. But as far as the league goes, we definitely will have
the analysts,
NTABL talk.
Yep.
Giving preseason. And then we're working on getting some managers. Reed's working on getting some managers to call in. Yeah, join the show. Or at least, provide a time that we can have, some in-depth talk about the upcoming season. Because, between our team, I think we've got pretty much everyone coming back. And then, obviously, we're adding Jeff to the mix, taking away Adam.
One arm for the other, I guess.
Just one surgery for another. We're just trading one police officer for another. You can't have two officers off the force at the same time. So, it's like last year Adam played, and so this year, Jeff's going to play.
Switching roles.
The old switcheroo. And then you've got, obviously, the Panthers gone.
Yep. Good.
Which is hilarious. Yeah, because they're playing in the 5-tool league. I don't do they even? I almost want to look that up and see if that's like
a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a pipe dream.
Yeah, like 5-tool. That's what I was told it was called, like 5-tool baseball. Okay. Where MLB scouts, college coaches, and top high school prospects meet. Is this? I don't think this can't be them.
No, I think maybe. Yeah, I don't think this is a real thing attached to. Because this looks like it's out of Arizona.
Yeah.
5-tool baseball, Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's an affiliate of it. But yeah, we are going to be
we beat them last year, so
yeah, we're going to be the official show though of the entire league. The dark horse. Nolan, they've got a
professional sports, stay for
the amateur sports.
Amateur sports.
And thank God we're going to broadcast all of our games, because then we'll have clips and highlights and stuff to show on the show itself right here.
Yeah.
But we've got, 2 months, a month and a half before the season starts?
Yeah, about a month and a half, I think. If that, usually end of March. We're at the end of February, so
check your emails
quick.
Check your emails for team registration.
Yeah, we're going to be down some arms this year. I may go to World. Might have to throw some fastballs down the middle and get rocked, but feel my position really well.
It's a fun time. Yeah, I had that guy go yard off me last year in the first game.
Oh, he went yard.
Oh, that sucked. But Yeah, I need to get some outro music so that way we could start playing it just to.
Like you said, again, we're getting better. We're constantly evolving, if anything.
We are. So I guess I could find some outro music really, really quick.
Yeah, I mean, D gave us some good outro music.
He did, but we can risk getting, a copyright strike.
Yep. All right.
Everyone likes Candy Girl.
Yep.
Well, thanks for tuning in. It's a little bit shorter of a show today, just because. I mean,
kind of a light week for sports.
Just so far.
Yep.
We need something big to happen.
Yep.
We'll probably find those videos of you and Baker getting wild.
Yeah, I'll find those. Next time we'll also touch on Spencer Jones getting rocked by MMA kid out of OU bar.
Dude, I totally forgot about that. We didn't even touch on it. But my gosh,
that. Very
that's like
impressive.
why you don't mess with. That's why you don't mess with Josh. Like not you, but my brother Josh. Like that's why. Like he's the kind of kid that I would feel like would do that kind of stuff.
Yep. The smirk and then just the yep. All right, we'll touch that next time.
All right.
Something to look forward to. So
tomorrow, maybe.
So tomorrow could happen.
I just want to make a graphic.
Yep. Tomorrow 5:00 would work. Same time.
Let's plan
same place.
Oh, my cousin's calling me.
All right. Well, we'll catch
Great
you
time
later.
to end it.
See you later.